Hello and welcome to MBC News with me, Blessings Kanache, alongside Lina Mponda, our sign language interpreter tonight. Out of stories. President Chakwera calls on Malawians to keep helping each other in times of need. An assessment conducted by the Malawi National Planning Commission reveals a 2 billion kwacha loss in tourism as a result of rising water levels in Lake Malawi. And Blantyre City to wear a new face with a 4 billion kwacha amusement park establishment. Glad you could join us. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has appealed to Malawians to keep helping each other in times of need. Dr. Chakwera was speaking at Kamuzu Palace during a presentation of checks worth 450 million kwacha to public universities. The money is meant to cater for fees for needy students and for the reconstruction of Mpatsa Primary School in Senior Chief Tengani's area in Nsanje, which was destroyed by Cyclone Freddy. We have a report by Isaac Jali.
Speaking during presentation of checks to various public universities and another check for the reconstruction of Mpatsa Primary School in the area of Senior Chief Tengani in Nsanje District, State President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera called on Malawians to keep up with the spirit of helping each other in times of need, a spirit which he said was demonstrated during Cyclone Freddy and other natural calamities. He said the importance of education for the youth is clearly enshrined in the Malawi 2063. Yet today, many children face significant barriers such as poverty, lack of financial resources that make access to education difficult. The Malawi leader assured the needy students that they are not alone, as funds being raised through Presidential Charity Initiative are meant to ensure that no child is left behind due to circumstances beyond their control.
Let us remember, the students we support today are the leaders, innovators, and change makers of tomorrow. By investing in their education, we are investing in the future of Malawi. We are planting seeds that will grow into a stronger, more resilient nation, a nation where every child has the opportunity to reach their full potential. And to the students who will benefit from this support, I say to you, you are not alone on your journey. Your country believes in you, and we are committed to ensuring that you have the tools you need to succeed.
On behalf of the needy students, Jafet Kapalepale, a final year engineering student at the Malawi University of Science and Technology, MUST, thanked President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera and described him as a beacon of hope in the realization of their dreams. Kapalepale also thanked Dr. Chakwera's administration for an upward revision of upkeep allowance for university students from 350 to 560,000 kwacha per year.
Being needy students, this support is way much important to us because we have so many challenges. We are facing so many challenges and needy students in the public universities. We are talking of fees. As you know, most of the universities has increased the tuition fees and the accommodation fees. So for those of us who are not capable of financing ourselves, we take this as a great opportunity for us to go further with our education, because without this, some of us would have dropped out of school.
For his part, Professor Wells Singini, Vice Chancellor of Mzuzu University, hailed the President for his Presidential Charity Initiative and asked others to complement it as the need remains huge. The funds disbursed were raised through Presidential Charity Golf Tournament in October 2023, which raised 421 million kwacha. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera himself participated in the tournament to demonstrate commitment towards the cause of needy and vulnerable Malawians. Meanwhile, this year's tournament is slated for 12 October at Limbe Sports Club in Blantyre. Isaac Jali, MBC, Lilongwe.
And President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera will tomorrow leave for Mozambique on a 2-day state visit. Mozambican President Felipe Nyusi has invited Dr. Chakwera to, among others, discuss issues that will promote the bilateral relations between the two countries. A statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says the two governments are expected to sign agreements in several areas of cooperation. And thereafter, Dr. Chakwera will proceed to Harare in the Republic of Zimbabwe to attend the 44th Ordinary Summit of SADC Heads of State and Government to be held on Saturday, 11th August. The Malawi leader will also engage other leaders in the region to advance Malawi's drive in implementing the agriculture, tourism and mining ATM strategy. Dr. Chakwera is expected to depart Kamuzu International Airport in Lilongwe tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the morning. Meanwhile, First Lady Madam Monica Chakwera has urged women and girls in the country to come together and fight against cyber threats. Madam Chakwera made the remarks in Lilongwe during the official opening of the Women and Girls in Cyber 2024 annual conference. Olive Piri reports.
The Women and Girls in Cyber conference seeks to encourage and empower young women to pursue careers in cybersecurity. Speaking during the official opening ceremony of the conference, First Lady Madam Monica Chakwera said the digital world has brought many opportunities but also serious challenges, as evidenced by the rise of cybercrime. Madam Chakwera said women and girls need to have knowledge and skills that are crucial in the fight against cybercrime. She said if women thrive in the cybersecurity, everyone benefits from a safe and more inclusive digital landscape.
Imagine a world where every woman and girl, no matter where she is from, has the knowledge and the skills to protect herself and her community online. A world where cyber threats are met with resilience and innovation, driven by diverse perspectives and talents of women leaders. This is why it is so important for us to come together to face this issue head-on, and who better to lead this effort than the women and girls.
In his remarks, Minister of Information Moses Kunkuyu said the ministry is aware of the cyber threats that women and girls face. Kunkuyu said the ministry is working on policies and interventions that are aimed at making the cyberspace safe for every Malawian.
We're hoping that in the next sitting of Parliament we should be able to take these, and some that are already just in draft state, but they are being perfected as of now, so that together they cannot be taken to Parliament. The aim of these bills is to make sure that we align ourselves with the international best practices that are pertaining in the world.
Board chairperson of the Malawi Communications Regulatory Authority, MACRA, Bridget Chibwana, said the 3-day conference will provide a supportive and inclusive environment for girls and women to learn about various opportunities available in the cyberspace.
It is our sincere hope that these will be mentored so that in future they become the gurus in cybersecurity.
The second edition of the Women and Girls in Cyberspace 2024 annual conference runs from 13th to 15th August. Olive Piri, MBC News, Lilongwe.
An assessment conducted by the Malawi National Planning Commission NPC reveals that the tourism sector has lost about 2 billion kwacha as a result of rising water levels in Lake Malawi. The rising waters affected tourism establishments in lakeshore districts between March and June this year. Experts and authorities have since warned that the sector will likely experience similar disruptive weather events next year, as northern Malawi and Tanzania are expected to receive heavy rains in the next rainy season. We have a report.
The findings came to light in Lilongwe, where the National Planning Commission NPC released results of an assessment of the economic impact of the Lake Malawi water rise on the economy. The rising of water levels resulted in partial operations or total closure of hospitality establishments along the lakeshore districts. National Planning Commission Research Manager Andrew Jamali said they made the assessment because the tourism sector is crucial to the country's sustainable economic growth. Jamali said they assessed 52 tourism establishments in Salima, Nkhotakota and Mangoji. He says these districts were heavily affected by the unprecedented rise in the water level in Lake Malawi due to heavy downfall in the north of Malawi and Tanzania. The sector was expected to generate an estimated annual revenue of about 9 billion Malawi kwacha, but the sector has already lost 2 billion Malawi kwacha due to the disruption of hospitality services by the rising water levels.
There's need for some discussions on how best we can manage the water flow so that we can actually cushion a very important economic infrastructure. But at the same time, making sure that the tourism industry doesn't suffer from such kind of events as a result of maybe some kind of non-conformity within the where the water is actually getting into the lake and how the water is being released through the tributaries, such as Shire River. So those are some of the discussions, and that kind of stakeholder consultation will really have to take place.
Malawi Tourism Council Chief Executive Officer Memole Mumba Kankuzi stressed the need for collaborative efforts in the implementation of the recommendations from all stakeholders to combat the problem.
Our say as private sector is that I think it's not the time now that we just talk on these issues, but it's time that we implement, because looking at the figures and the numbers of the water that we are expecting even next year, we are sitting on a bomb. That if we don't act now, I don't think there will be a future of lakeshore tourism along the lakeshore.
National Planning Commission is mandated to coordinate the development of long and medium-term development plans for Malawi's socio-economic development.
Governance and human rights advocate Undule Mwakasungula has hailed the Malawi Congress Party MCP for organizing a peaceful and a transparent national convention. Mwakasungula told NBC that the convention is a clear demonstration of democracy at work. He explains.
Honestly speaking, they just held Malawi Congress Party convention was a success. I think others might have their own views, looking at how they could assess the convention. But I think the convention was a democracy in action with a peaceful and well-organized process that allowed every delegate's voice to be heard. And this sets an example of how political conventions in Malawi should be conducted in emphasizing unity, maturity, discipline within political parties. The convention also showcased a diverse type of candidates from various backgrounds, reflecting MCP's commitment to everybody's participation, inclusive participation. And this diversity is very important for addressing the complex challenges the country is facing. And I feel and I believe other parties will strive to mirror this approach as they are also organizing their conferences. And one of the most remarkable aspects of the convention was the grace and loyalty demonstrated by those who did not win. They showed continued commitment to the party, highlighting the true sense of democracy.
You are watching MBC News, and with me, Blessings Kanache, and my sign language interpreter is Leno Mponda. Remember, you can access all MBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top of the right corner of your TV screen. A reminder of our top stories. President Chakwera calls on Malawians to keep helping each other in times of need. An assessment conducted by the Malawi National Planning Commission reveals a 2 billion kwacha loss in tourism as a result of rising water levels in Lake Malawi. And Blantyre City to wear a new face with a 4 billion kwacha amusement park establishment.
Malawi and the European Union are growing Malawi together. Growing Malawi together includes empowering voices of the youth who make up at least half of the country's population. Setting up the Malawi Youth Sounding Board, The EU is creating real, fundamental, and lasting change in its engagement with young people and its development initiatives. 15 inspiring and diverse young Malawians make up the Youth Sounding Board. They engage with the EU on policy development, programs implementation, and community outreach.
I want to see the youth more included in crafting policies. I want the youth voices to be heard because the youth bring innovative and new ideas that can actually grow Malawi.
It is important for the youth to be involved in the Growing Malawi Together because half of the population is comprised of the youth. Therefore, having them into the critical decision making will also help us to realize the Malawi 2063 goals that we have.
This meaningful engagement with the Youth Sounding Board ensures that EU programs are developed and implemented in partnership with the youth to grow Malawi together.
Do you want to intensify your child education, skills, ability, and knowledge? The Gwengwe Private Academy, Alice Gwengwe Foundation, and Sosten Gwengwe Foundation has the answer. The schools have highly skilled teachers, a friendly, conducive, and secured environment that eases the minds of students to help them into their future careers. Excellent results year in, year out. Academic, spiritual, social growth of your ward. Outstanding facilities. Well-designed laboratory, library, and computer lab that enhance your child education. Gwengwe Private Academy offers primary education for boys and girls. Alice Gwengwe Foundation offers secondary education for girls only, and Sosten Gwengwe Foundation offers secondary education for boys only. Come to Gwengwe Private Academy, Alice Gwengwe Foundation, and Sosten Gwengwe Foundation for your child's vibrant education. Learn from the best and get quality education for your child. Affordable fees that can be paid through installments. The schools are situated at Lintipe 1 off Lilongwe Dedza M1 Road. For more information, contact 099 251 0297 or 099 525 2793 or 099 06 78 887. What are you waiting for? Build your child's future today.
It keeps getting better and better. After successfully opening Maranatha Capital Girls Academy, your request to open Maranatha Capital Boys Academy has come to pass. Welcome to Maranatha Capital Boys Academy, situated 50 kilometers from Lilongwe at Mponela Trading Center. We uphold our promise to produce the best in all students, a perfect diet, a conducive learning environment with dedicated members of staff is what we stand for. Turn that dream into reality by joining Maranatha Capital Boys Academy. Register now while places are still available by contacting us on 0888 993 232, 0993 832 832 and 0991 276 273. Maranatha Private Academy. We set the pace, others follow.
Welcome to St. Peter's Private Schools in Mponela, where we prepare our students for the future with excellence, diversity, and innovation. St. Peter's Private Schools in Mponela offers a wide range of academic programs that cater for the interests and abilities of our students. Our teachers are qualified, experienced, and dedicated to helping learners achieve their goals. We have 3 schools under St. Peter's Private Schools. We have a primary school, boys' secondary school, and a girls' secondary school at your disposal. Science and technology are crucial in today's world. We have audio-visual learning facilities, state-of-the-art laboratory, and a modern and well-equipped library. At St. Peter's Private Schools in Mponela, we also celebrate our diversity and our culture. We also prepare our students for the next stage of their lives. So what are you waiting for? Join us at St. Peter's Private Schools in Mponela today and discover your potential. St. Peter's Private Schools in Mponela.
Back to our area story, where President Lazarus Chakwera will leave tomorrow for Mozambique on a 2-day state visit. President Philip Nyusi's invitation to Dr. Chakwera to, among others, discuss issues that will promote the bilateral relations between the two countries. And from there, Dr. Chakwera will proceed to Harare in the Republic of Zimbabwe to attend the 44th Ordinary Summit of SADC Heads of State and Government to be held on Saturday, 17th August. Meanwhile, our reporter Austin Kachpea is in Maputo, Mozambique, and he paints a picture on the expectation of Chakwera's official visit in that country.
President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera is expected to do several important activities while here in Maputo, Mozambique, that will likely boost the economic growth of the two countries. During the visit, Dr. Chakwera will hold bilateral discussions with Mozambican President Filipe Nyusi on matters of mutual interest, leading to further strengthening of cordial relations of the two countries. It is expected that the two governments will sign agreements in several areas of cooperation. High Commissioner of the Republic of Malawi in Mozambique, Her Excellency Wezi Moyo, explains more on the significance of President's visit in Mozambique.
Currently, you agree with me that there's no direct flight between Mozambique and Malawi. It's because we don't have a cooperation agreement in the area. So the signing of this agreement is very significant because it will allow for direct flights into Malawi and Mozambique. So this is very important for movement of goods, for trade, and movement of people. The second agreement is to do with energy. I need not emphasize how significant energy is to our country. You know very well that the president came to Mozambique in April 2022 when, together with President Nyusi, they launched the Malawi-Mozambique Interconnector project. And apart from that project that is going to give Malawi 50 megawatts of energy, there's a joint project between Malawi and Mozambique in power generation on River Ruo that is targeting to generate 41 megawatts of power. And also there are other areas of agreement around storage, transportation of fuel products from Mozambique to Malawi.
On Thursday, Joaquim Chisano University will confer honorary doctorate degree in international cooperation for development to President Chakwera in recognizing his efforts of improved relationship between the two countries.
The climax of this visit is that the president has been awarded an honorary PhD in leadership and international relations. You know, for all these things that I have mentioned to happen, it requires strong bilateral relationship. And the president has provided and taken the lead in establishing that strong relationship between Mozambique and Malawi.
The renewed ties will, among other things, enable trade, the establishment of Mozambique-Malawi electricity interconnection deal, refurbishment of the Nakara railway line, as well as a free movement of people between the two countries. Austin Kachpea, MBC News, Maputo, Mozambique.
Moving on, the National Water Resources Authority has entered into partnership with the electricity generation company Egenco, aimed at improving effectiveness of Lake Malawi and Shura River hydrological system at Kamuzu Barrage in Liwonde. The agreement has a fresh memorandum of understanding laying out responsibilities of the two institutions in managing the barrage since the establishment of the National Water Resources Authority. This follows expiry of a similar agreement between Egenco and Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Resources. Owen Mavula with the details.
As part of expanding its workforce in regulating and managing water resources, the National Water Resources Authority has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Electricity Generation Company Limited, Egenco, in the management of Kamuzu Barrage in Liwonde. The pact will see the National Water Resources Authority taking full control of a number of operations such as maintenance of the barrage, management of aquatic weed, as well as management of hydrometric operations. Speaking at the signing ceremony of the Memorandum of Understanding, Chief Executive Officer for the National Water Resources Authority, Dwight Kambuku, said the work agreement means that Ejenko will only be concentrating on its central role of power generation.
It's just important that MOU now it should be between Ejenko and the National Water Resources Authority, because before it was between Ejenko and the Ministry of Water and Sanitation. Even before it was Ejenko, ESCOM had this with the ministry responsible for agriculture and irrigation then. So this time what we've done is the MOU is now between National Water Resources Authority and the Electricity Generation Company of Malawi.
In his remarks, Acting Chief Executive Officer for the Electricity Generation Company Limited, Dr. Maxon Chitao, said the joint management of the Kamuzu Barrage will go a long way in improving effectiveness of Lake Malawi Shire River hydrological system.
We thought of renewing that in MOU, but now since we have the authority in place, we thought of developing this new MOU with the authority, which is the NWRA, so that we are together, we manage this system, and then later on, little by little, gradually transfer the management of this facility to them, and we concentrate on our power generation downstream.
Apart from recruiting officers to add capacity at the facility, the National Water Resources Authority has also procured 6 dump trucks to help in its day-to-day operations. National Water Resources Authority is a government institution whose mission is to regulate and manage water resources for the sustainable, effective and efficient use by all sectors in order to achieve socio-economic growth and development agenda of the country. Owen Mavula, MBC, Mangochi.
And people living around Kadzua village in Nkosi Vumbwe area in Cholo and Chadzunda in Chief Sombas area in Blantyre are expecting to have improved livelihoods following a construction of a bridge along Limbi River, which borders Cholo and Blantyre districts. Cholo District Council has inaugurated the construction of the bridge under the Governance to Enable Service Delivery Gested program to the tune of close to 200 million kwacha. Arthur Chokoto reports.
Businesswomen from Cholo North narrating their plight as a result of travel difficulties because vehicles do not use the road connecting 2 big markets of Vumbwe and Chadzunda due to lack of a bridge along Limbe River. Speaking when inaugurating construction works for the bridge, DC for Cholo, Hudson Kupanga, said the bridge has the potential to improve the economic well-being of people of Cholo North, most of whom are farmers.
Here are most of the farmers, and they take their merchandise to the area of Blantyre, but they have to walk long distance as we have seen. But with this bridge, it will ease in their movement from wherever they grow their tomatoes, they grow their potatoes, and to the area where they can sell. You find that now vehicles will be moving, carrying them, which now reduces the cost of carrying this merchandise to the market.
Member of Parliament for Cholo North, Ephraim Naija, says people of the area, including chiefs, are pleased with the development that has taken over 40 years to materialize.
We have a lot of economic values that are accrued to this bridge. We have health centers this side of the road. We have people in this area that are farmers. They have a lot of produce that they need to sell the other side of the bridge, the other side of the river. So they need to carry this kind of produce. Sometimes they use the vehicles, but they can't pass through that river.
In his remarks, Group Village Headman Kadzua held the Chakwera administration for implementing projects that are distributing developments across the country without bias. Arthur Chokoto, MBC News, Cholo.
That's how we conclude this edition of MBC News. But before we go, a recap of our top stories. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera will tomorrow leave the country for a state visit in Mozambique, after which he will proceed to Zimbabwe for the 44th Ordinary Summit of SADC Heads of State and Government to be held on Saturday, 17th August. An assessment conducted by the National Planning Commission reveals 2 billion kwacha loss in tourism as a result of rising water levels in Lake Malawi, and Blantyre City to wear a new face with a 4 billion kwacha amusement park establishment. You can get these and other stories by visiting our online platforms, Facebook, X, and our website mbc.mw. You can also access all MBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. My name is Blessings Kanache, and my sign language interpreter was Nilem Ponda. Thanks for watching, and good night.
Good evening, and it's time for weather forecast. Very cold temperatures.